What's going on, everyone? This is Tim Trevathan with Tim Trevathan Homes, and today I'm back with an exciting update on Buford, Georgia. When I first covered Buford, it was already a fantastic place to live with its own set of pros and cons. But as with any city, things change and you want to make your decisions based on the most current information. In this video, I briefly recap where Buford is located and what the current demographics look like, revisit 3 of the former pros and cons to see if they still stand, and then jump into my favorite part, the latest developments happening in the city. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not going to revisit all the pros and cons from the previous video, it's because the newest developments are huge, and I want to cover those in more detail, so definitely stick around till the end. Okay, first, let's revisit the basics. Buford is located in the northeastern part of Gwinnett County, just about 35 miles from downtown Atlanta. Parts of Buford actually cross the border into Hall County, and that will matter later on, which I get into the pros and cons portion of the video. The population has been steadily growing, and the latest numbers show Buford is home to about 18,000 residents. That number is projected to rise to 20,000 by 2029. What makes Buford appealing is its mix of affordability and proximity to top-rated schools and amenities. Overall, it's a popular choice for young families and professionals who don't necessarily need to commute into Atlanta. When it comes to the demographic breakdown of the city, some numbers could surprise you, especially if you compare them to their neighboring city, Suwanee. The median age of residents is around 35, and 56% of residents are married. The median household income hovers around $94,000, which is well above the national average, but still a great deal less than Suwanee. Unlike Suwanee though, the top earners in Buford are folks with graduate degrees, followed by residents who hold a bachelor's degree. In complete contrast to Suwanee, the residents who report the lowest earnings are residents with less than a 9th grade education. What's interesting is that in Buford, this group reports modest earnings, and in the next town over, Suwanee, folks with less than a 9th grade education are leading the pack as 6-figure earners. And that's not all. I've been doing these videos for a while, and I'm used to seeing all kinds of demographic numbers, but I have to say this next stack of numbers surprised me. When it comes to the ethnic fabric that makes up Buford, 57.75% of residents identify as white, 17.64% identify as mixed race, 12.47% identify as Black or African American, 7.68% identify as other, and then 4.09% identify as Asian. Now, I know I just dropped a bunch of numbers, but let's circle back to the residents who identified as mixed race. Yes, 17.64% is a pretty high value. As a mixed person myself, being half Caucasian and half Korean, I have to say I never knew Buford had become such a melting pot. And just to give you some comparisons about how much of a melting pot it is, when it comes to Duluth, only 9% of residents identify as mixed, and I'm one of them. And in Suwanee, roughly 5% of residents identify as mixed. And when it comes to Atlanta, that big metropolitan city, yes, only 4.66% of residents identify as mixed. So it just goes to show that no two cities are alike, and they can surprise you in unique ways. If you're looking for a multicultural location with all the charm of a small town and leaves behind the noise and energy of a metropolitan city, Buford might be the place you're looking for. So now that you know where the city is and who lives there, let's get into the pros and cons of living in Buford. Some recent developments may change your mind about the quaint location tucked into the corners of Gwinnett County. Pro number 1, a market as diverse as its residents. Let's start with what's likely top of mind for many of you, the housing market. The average home price is around $628,000, which is a whopping 39.4% increase from the previous year. But don't let that number scare you off, and I'll tell you why. Buford's real estate market is extremely diverse, with homes that sell for millions factored in with homes that sell in the mid to high 300,000s. Those juggernaut homes going for $1 million, and in some cases more than $2 million, skew the reported average home price for the area. So long story short, the reported average home price doesn't accurately reflect the actual opportunities available to buyers. In fact, when we look at an affordability map, we see the east side of Buford has more to offer in the realm of affordable homes than the west side. But it gets better. If you were to take your search over to Zillow, you'd find a huge inventory of single-family homes that are in the $360,000 and $370,000 range, some of them with huge price cuts or some of them that have been on the market for longer than average times. These are all signs that sellers might be more willing to negotiate, and it's a great time to be a buyer. Case in point, I've got a great listing, only 5 minutes from Mall of Georgia. And that location is great for that reason, as well as being close to the interstate and just all the different amenities that it has. So this neighborhood, you could find a great single family home for 2,700 square feet for less than $500,000. So check out my listing that I have actually live as I'm speaking about this video on this topic. If we were to poke around to see what opportunities are on the west side, we would see a sprinkling of $1 million homes next to homes that go for $395,000, $400,000, or $500,000. So this is what I'm talking about when I say the reported average home prices is skewed for this area. Buying in a diverse market means there's room for people at every stage of life, and residents are equally invested in the success of the city regardless of their income bracket. Con number 1, limited professional opportunities. So the last time I covered Buford, I listed its hometown feel as one of the pros in living in the city. But I was talking to someone and they made a pretty good point. For where they were in their life, even though they liked the hometown feel, they felt Buford offered limited professional opportunities. I thought this was a fair point. Even though the city is working hard to attract new businesses and new jobs, especially a lot of retail and restaurant space, at the end of the day, it'll never measure up to the opportunities available in a metropolitan city like Atlanta. Even though the city is working hard to attract new businesses and new jobs, especially retail and restaurants, at the end of the day, it'll never measure up to the opportunities available in a metropolitan city like Atlanta. Buyers working for large corporations may not feel this effect as much as a small business owner looking to scale their operation. My advice on this is to visit Buford and get the lay of the land. Scope out the area, talk to a few business owners, and get a feel for whether or not your business can thrive in Buford. Pro number 2, top-rated schools. One of Buford's major draws continues to be its excellent school system and powerhouse athletic programs. The city is home to 12 schools spanning 7 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 high schools across 2 school districts, Buford City District and Gwinnett County District, both in Gwinnett County. Buford City District ranks 5th in the state out of 193 districts. And this outstanding ranking attracts families from all over to settle in Buford. Among the elementary schools, Ivy Creek Elementary School stands out. Since my last video, it has dropped to rank 94 out of 1,218 or 1,218 Georgia elementary schools. But even then, it remains in the top 10% of elementary schools in the state. And you can't go wrong with that. This school has earned a 5-star rating and impressive test scores in English language arts and science. Such accolades highlight the quality of early education in Buford, ensuring young students receive an excellent start. Buford's middle schools also shine brightly. Twin Rivers Middle School ranked 60th out of 578 Georgia middle schools, which is down 10 slots from last year, but the school has maintained a 4-star rating from parents and consistently delivers high test scores. Similarly, Buford Middle School ranked 44th out of 578, which is down 17 slots from its previous position, but it consistently holds its ground in the top 10% of middle schools in the state. The fact that these schools show only moderate fluctuations in their ranks reflects the city's commitment to academic excellence, setting a strong foundation for high school and beyond. When it comes to high schools, Buford High School is the city's crown jewel. This public school looks and feels like an elite private school. In fact, you see the front of the school, it looks like a college campus. Ranked 23rd out of 451 high schools in Georgia, it is up 1 slot from the previous year and has garnered a 5-star rating on schooldigger.com. The school boasts a remarkable 96% 4-year graduation rate with test scores that significantly surpass state averages. When it comes to their sports programs, calling them excellent feels like an understatement, actually. For one, the school's athletic facilities have the look and feel of being in a pro sports arena. The school's commitment to athletic excellence, combined with talented athletes, dedicated coaching staff, has solidified Buford's reputation as a sports powerhouse in the state of Georgia and beyond. The school's athletes rise to the top in football, baseball, basketball, and more. Alumni like Blake Ferguson, Josh Blackwell, and Reed Ferguson have gone to play in the NFL. Students like Brandon Marsh, Dylan Lesko, and Justin Glover have made their way to the Major League Baseball. While the school is not mainly known for producing NBA stars, it has a strong track record for producing basketball players who earn Division I scholarships. For families leaning towards careers in science, technology, engineering, and math, Gwinnett County is home to the state's #1 high school, which happens to be the Gwinnett School of Mathematics, Science, and Technology. The high school has a pretty rigorous admissions process, but if your child gets in, they'll get the best education the entire state has to offer. Keep in mind, this school is located in Lawrenceville, even though we're talking about Buford, but it's not that far down the road. The first criterion for admission is that students be Gwinnett County residents. This is where the location of the home you buy in Buford will matter. Families that buy homes across the Gwinnett County line will end up in Hall County and will not be eligible to apply for GSMST. Besides that, after an application is accepted, it goes into a lottery to select the next round of students at random. It's certainly worth the push, especially for a public school that is serving up an Ivy League education, and the fallback school, Buford High, is in the top 5% of state high schools. Con number 2, proximity to Lake Lanier. So in my last video, Lake Lanier was on the pros list, and for many people, it will remain on the pros list. But there is a downside to living near Lake Lanier. Whether you choose to go to the lake or not, you'll still be affected by peak season traffic. The idea of going to the lake for the weekend is nice, until you get there and discover that it's overcrowded. The other downside to being close to Lake Lanier is that proximity to the lake drives up home prices. Homes that are to the west of I-985 can run an extra $100 to an extra $150 per square foot. Some folks are opting to save money by buying on the east side in exchange for an extra 10 minutes of driving to get to Lake Lanier. But there are also some private lakes nearby, so you'll definitely have to check those out. Not only that, but many lenders will require buyers to carry flood insurance, and that could mean even in low-risk areas. If you are prepared to take on the extra cost of living near the lake, that's fine, but the extra monthly expense could prove to be a deal breaker for some buyers. Pro number 3, nearby weekend getaways. Going back to my earlier comment about Lake Lanier being overcrowded during peak seasons, when it comes to Buford, you're never too far away from other exciting options. There are a few weekend getaway opportunities for everyone. We have Dahlonega, Georgia, which has the Gold Rush glamour only 40 miles away from Buford, and discover the heart of Georgia's Gold Rush history in Dahlonega. The historic town boasts charming shops, delicious wineries, and stunning mountain views. Explore the historic gold mines, indulge in a wine tasting tour, or simply relax on the town square. It's the perfect blend of history and relaxation. Another option is Helen, Georgia, a Bavarian dreamland only 65 miles away from Buford. Imagine strolling through a charming European village without leaving the United States. Helen, Georgia is a delightful Bavarian-inspired town that's perfect for a weekend getaway. With its authentic architecture, cozy shops, and hearty German cuisine, you'll feel like you've stepped into a fairy tale. Don't miss out on their lively Oktoberfest celebrations. Georgia Mountain Coaster Pure Adrenaline, only about 65 miles away from Buford, that is a place that you have to check out, some heart-pounding excitement. The Georgia Mountain Coaster in Helen offers a thrilling ride through the woods, and with twists, turns, and breathtaking views, it's an adventure for the whole family. Feel the wind in your hair as you soar through the trees, and get ready for that rush. Now let's talk about con number 3, public transportation. I think this may be a mention in a lot of these North Atlanta suburban cities. In large cities like New York, public transportation is a plus, saving residents from traffic jams, starting a quest in search of parking, and in some cases being their designated driver. But for small cities like Buford, it hits the cons list. In fact, the public transportation options in this part of Georgia, as I mentioned, all throughout, might motivate riders to get a car as soon as possible. Gwinnett Ride provides public transportation throughout the county, so it is a blessing in many ways. But if we're going to keep it real, and you know I do, riders find the service insufficient for their needs due to limited routes and infrequent schedules. Bus stops don't always have proper shelter or lighting, so traveling in the winter months when it gets dark quickly can leave some residents feeling uneasy. Now let's get into my favorite part, new developments in the city. Buford is buzzing with new projects all aimed at enhancing the quality of life for its residents. The new parking deck is complete. If you've been to Buford in the past, then you know just how difficult it was to stroll into town and find a parking space during peak hours. Not anymore. Located at 70 East Moreno Street, the city of Buford's new parking deck stands as a testament to modern urban development, marking a significant enhancement to the city's infrastructure. This 4-level facility, accommodating 256 parking spaces, is designed with the community's needs at its core, ensuring effortless access and convenience for residents, businesses, and visitors to downtown Buford. One of the standout benefits of the city of Buford's parking deck is that it is completely free of charge, making it an invaluable resource for everyday accessibility. Whether attending a meeting at the Buford Community Center, shopping at the local businesses, or participating in cultural events, residents and visitors can enjoy the city as much as they want without having to budget for parking fees. This level of convenience is all part of the city's master plan, which is the next development I want to talk about. One of the most exciting developments is the Buford 2045 plan, called the Downtown Buford Revitalization Project, also known as Downtown 2.0. This project is all about transforming the downtown area into a vibrant hub with new public spaces, outdoor dining, and a diverse range of businesses. The goal is to make downtown Buford an even more attractive destination for both residents and visitors. Buford is also seeing significant economic growth, with over 1,120 new jobs added across various industries since 2019. This growth isn't just good news for the local economy, it means more opportunities for residents to work close to home. Another big focus of the city's 2045 plan is on housing. Buford is working on innovative housing solutions that include everything from high-end townhomes to more affordable options for young families and first-time home buyers. This means that even with the rising home prices, there's still a place for everyone in Buford. And let's not forget about the expansion of parks and green spaces. The city is adding new parks and trails, especially around downtown, making it easier for residents to enjoy outdoor activities. Whether you're into hiking, biking, or just taking a leisurely stroll, Buford's green spaces are about to get even better. Between the elite level high schools, the construction projects, and the 2045 plan, I'm sure some of my budget-conscious viewers are doing the math and thinking, all this is great, but the property taxes must be a killer. Think again, because this next update might blow your mind. The city of Buford plans to reduce or get rid of property taxes for many homeowners through new laws currently being considered in the Georgia General Assembly. Buford City Commission is working on 2 new bills to lower property taxes for homeowners. The first bill changes the current law to lower the age for full property tax exemption from 70 to 65. About 169 homeowners would qualify for this exemption. The second bill would increase the current tax exemption amount from $22,000 to $100,000. This change could mean no property taxes for nearly 90% of homes in Buford. And if you're wondering where the city will get the money to cover any losses and fund this dream, it all goes back to the city's 2045 plan, which is in full swing and showing its fruits. The city's growing commercial and industrial tax base is expected to cover the loss in residential property tax income. I think it's a great pick for a lot of reasons, that is Buford, Georgia. But I also know that for many other reasons you might want to keep on looking. The city appeals most to young families or single professionals who like tight-knit communities and outdoor adventures. But I could see how a city like Buford would lose its appeal to anyone whose work situation requires them to commute into downtown Atlanta. But hey, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Drop them below in the comment section. If you're 90% sure you want to move to Buford and want a trusted guide to help you find the right home, send me a direct message, call, text, however you want to get a hold of me. You'll be in good hands, and I would love nothing more than to help you start the next chapter of your life. As always, like this video, subscribe, catch me on the next one. Tim Trevathan out.